Hey lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to another video. It's time for another Discover University build, another day, another build. I really enjoy building with this pack, as you guys may have noticed. And now it's time for a sorority. So there are a couple of things on my list that I totally want to build with this pack. I'm also going to build a tiny house, for example. I'm also going to remodel the dorms of Foxbury Institute and all that, but now I really felt like building a sorority. At first I tried to build some townhouses, but then I didn't like how they turned out, so I'm going to rebuild them. And then I just built this here, which was a lot of fun. This sorority is on a 30 by 20 lot, which is really small for what I'm used to. I like to build on big lots, but it was quite challenging and fun. And also, to be honest, furnishing is a lot of fun because you don't have to furnish, I don't know, hours and hours and hours. So I really enjoyed that actually. I added 4 bedrooms to this house, and the bedrooms are double beds actually. I really wanted to keep it luxurious. I built this in a different way than I built the dorms, so I really wanted this to be lavish and luxurious. I looked up some sororities in real life, and holy smokes, these people live in the most amazing mansions. There's one sorority in Alabama, I think it was, and they live in a $14 million sorority. Like, the building is insane. It's absolutely crazy. It almost looked like the White House or something. So I knew after my research that I could go really overboard, and I made this look like a really proper, beautiful mansion. I still wanted this to look traditional. There are no super crazy elements. I mean, I went a bit overboard and added stuff here and there and used a couple of tricks, which I'm going to talk about in this video, but I also wanted this to look very traditional and in the style of the pack. As you've probably already figured out, I built this in Britechester, so this is not super modern, and Foxbury has this very modern aesthetic, while Britechester has this very classy and traditional aesthetic. And I'm also really hyped to finally build something modern, especially with the new windows and doors that we got. But I don't know, I'm just so excited about these windows and the style, the doors. I really wanted to build in Britechester again, to be honest, and the townhouses that I worked on also had this type of style. So in the front, as you noticed, I used an arch. It's the Good Famous arch. I also used it in the dorms that I remodeled in Britechester. What I did was I built a basement, and then I placed the arch in the basement and I raised it up, and this way you can really make sure that the arch has the correct height, because if I would have just placed it on the surface on this level, it would have been too high. And this is a little trick that you can use to just find the right spot for an object like this. There's also a very amazing base game object that I didn't use in this build, but I quickly want to talk about this now because I used the same method for this. So it's some type of arch, but it's closed at the bottom. It's not open, and it's actually some type of wall decoration. You could place it at a wall, and it's closed at the bottom. So if you size it up and if you place it like some type of arch, your Sims won't be able to walk through it. So it doesn't work like a doorway. But when you place the basement underneath and then you size it up and then you raise it, you can make it so that the bottom is basically hidden in the basement, so only the top is sticking out. It looks and works like a doorway in this case. Super amazing for base game builds, and this is essentially the same method. You can use it for all kinds of different things. You can also use the Good Famous arches, and you can raise them only a little bit so that you have some type of decoration at the foundation, or that you can do all kinds of fun things with this method. So I decided to start off at the front because sometimes for builds like this, I really like to do that. I had the idea to have this front section in the front, so it almost looks like some type of railing that is kind of curved outwards. It creates the illusion of this type of look. I just used a round foundation piece for this, and then I just worked my way up to the house and added more stuff. I really wanted this to look traditional, not completely over the top or crazy, as I said, so I was kind of trying to find a middle ground. So there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, but it also looks quite traditional. So on the outside it looks very classy, very kind of historical, I guess you could say. And on the inside there is a lot of pink. I really wanted to have some type of cliche girly sorority. A sorority is for females, a fraternity is for males, in case you have no idea if you're not from the US, or I don't know if this is not a thing in your country, for example. So this is for girls, and you can actually change the setting up in the left hand corner. There's a setting where you can decide if a university building belongs to Britechester or Foxbury. You can also change there if it's for all genders or only for females or males. You can change this, and this way you can create some proper sororities or fraternities, which is what I did here. And on the inside I really made it super pink. I'm personally not even the biggest fan of pink, and I think that anyone can rock any color, anyone can rock pink or blue or just anything, but here I really wanted to create some type of pink girly cliche sorority, I guess you could say, and it turned out really cute on the inside. As you will see, I used some modern stuff and it's a fun mix. I also decided to add some Greek letters, and for this I just used a half wall, as you can see here, and then I used a base game lamp, and I just placed many lamps to create these two Greek letters. I randomly picked them just so it looks like a proper sorority. If there's any sorority or fraternity out there that uses these letters, then it's just a coincidence. This is no reference to any real sorority or anything. I just picked two random letters and I placed them. And if you want to do this yourself, just make sure that you have activated the Move Objects cheat. You can hold down Alt on your keyboard so you can freely place the objects and then just create any type of letter. I've seen this method used in the gallery a lot by people who like to recreate Starbucks. There's a surprising amount of Starbucks in the gallery, I noticed once, and they look all super amazing. And people like to recreate the Starbucks logo with this lamp, and it looks amazing. You could also get rid of the wall, so you can place an object like this at a wall, and then you can remove the wall, but the objects remain. And then you could place anything else behind it, so you could create some custom signs. I decided against this in this case because it looked good with the half wall. I just added some roofs on the left and right side so it looks a bit rounded, and that's all. I just called it a day and left it this way. At first I wanted to place a dine out sign behind it. There's a very neutral sign, but I then decided against it. And for the front yard I used one of the debug objects. There are many amazing new debug objects in this pack. Also a wonderful waterfall. I've already made a tutorial about this. If you want to, you can check it out. It's on my channel. And I just wanted to have this round beautiful fence in the front, and I then decided, as you will see, to use a color for the ground that has some cute pink flowers in it. So while I kept the outside very traditional, the only thing that tells you that this is some type of university building are the Greek letters. I really kept it very simple, clean and classy, but I really wanted to give the whole sorority theme a little nod by at least adding these cute flowers in the front, these cute pink flowers. You will see in a second what I'm talking about. And then the bushes in front of the windows are part of Island Living. I really love them. And here I'm using a base game object. Anyone who's been around on this channel for a little while knows what this is. It's the infamous base game debug brick. This is what I like to call it. It's actually a bag of flour, I think. It's also in the debug section, and I just like to place it in a way that it's round. It looks beautiful. I just wanted to create some beautiful custom flower bed, and that's it. And here you can see the pink flowers at the bottom, and it's just super cute. And then I moved on to the interior finally. So you can see how the house is shaped here. We have the hallway in the center, and then we have one big area on the left and on the right side. This is also pretty obvious when you look at the house from the outside. And there's no kitchen in this house because it's university housing, and you cannot place a stove in university housing. You have the option to build a regular residential lot, and then you could of course also include a kitchen. You could even have roommates, and you could still send your sim off to university. But I really wanted this to be a proper university build, so it's university housing. This is the lot type, so I wasn't able to add a kitchen. I didn't want to add a kitchen without a stove. Of course, you could still build a kitchen and then you just don't add a stove, which is also what I did for my last build, my last pre-university build, the island living build. I totally forgot to add a stove. People were leaving me comments and asked me where's the stove, and I was like, oh no, please not again. And yes, I forgot to add a stove, and I'm really sorry about that. My head was probably already in university at this point, because now we cannot add stoves to university housing. I once forgot to add stairs to an island living build. It's always the island living builds for some reason. Like, I built the whole thing and uploaded it to the gallery, and it was fully furnished and all that, and then I was like, wait, there are no stairs. They cannot get up there, so I had to remodel it, and I had to make space for the stairs that you uploaded. Luckily, this only rarely happens, but I'm sorry. However, so I couldn't add a proper kitchen to this build. So what I did was, on the top floor in the hallway, I just added a couple of counters, a microwave, a fridge, and also in some of the rooms at the bottom, because they are bigger, there's also a mini fridge and a microwave. So it's much like the dorms, even though it's all more luxurious and all that, but I had to find a way to make it work. At first, as you will see, I added a microwave and a fridge to the hallway, and then it looked super weird, so I didn't do that eventually. So on this side of the house at the bottom, there's just a living room. This is just the area where Sims can gather, they can hang out and spend some quality time together. I added a piano, and as I said, I was going for the whole pink aesthetic, but at the same time I wanted it to be modern and classy, not like some type of pink fever dream. So there's a lot of gray as some type of contrast color, and a lot of white, so it still looks classy. I love this rug so much. It's part of city living, actually. So I added lots of pink details here and there, but the main color is still gray probably. And then on this side of the house at the bottom, I added 2 bedrooms. I would have added a huge dining room and a kitchen there if this would be a regular house, but I didn't do that because I needed some space for the bedrooms. The minimum amount of beds that you have to add to university housing is 4, and I added 4 double beds, so technically there's even more space if someone is moving in with their spouse or something. So there's also a bathroom at the bottom. I'm going to expand this. I'm going to add some showers there, so don't worry. I thought that I would add another bathroom at the top, so I just kept it as some type of guest toilet or guest bathroom at the bottom. But then I realized that at the top the only bathrooms are connected to the bedrooms, so the 2 bedrooms at the top are ensuites. So I had to make sure that there is a proper bathroom that anyone could use, especially those Sims who live at the bottom, because they don't have a designated bathrooms for their rooms. So I remodeled that a little bit. The color that I used for the floor also has this wonderful gray, and it's actually part of Get Famous, I think. Yes, it's a Get Famous floor. I really like to use it. It looks very modern. There's also a dark brown swatch and all that if you want to have a really regular wood floor. Really beautiful. And this bedroom here is my absolute favorite. It's the biggest one. It has the perfect position. The bed is in front of the window. The sun is shining through the window. It's just so beautiful. I added lots of clutter and different things. Very girly, very cute. And this rug is the same one that I used in the living room, actually, just in a different swatch. It's really beautiful. I added a fireplace, a TV, of course, a bookshelf, and a desk, so your Sim has some space to learn. For this I used a big dining table, so there's a lot of space for your Sim. And I didn't add any kind of extra area where your Sims could hang out together and learn. They could do that at the dining table, but they all have a desk in their room, so they can spend some time there. I thought that this would make sense, but you could also just use the dining room if you want everyone to hang out together and learn. And as you just saw, I here added a mini fridge and a microwave, and this is my favorite room. I think if I would let my Sim move into this house, I would pick this one because it's the biggest one, but the ones at the top have a bathroom, as I said, so it's kind of a trade-off. You either take the big one at the bottom but you don't have a bathroom connected to it, or you pick the ones at the top with a bathroom. As always, this house is of course available in the gallery. I didn't use any CC or mods, so you can just download it. You can find all the information in the description box down below. My ID is KateEmerald, but yeah, as I said, you can just check the description box if you want to. And my next project, I'm not really sure yet, to be honest. I'm either going to tackle the townhouses because I really want to nail them and I really like the idea. I'm definitely going to work on them. Or maybe the Foxbury Institute. I have so many things on my list, which makes me really excited. There's just so much stuff to build, and I have a lot of fun building. At some point, when you're building a lot, you are just kind of stuck in builder's block. It happens to any builder at some point, and then you're not really motivated. You don't know what to do, and this is just so amazing. I have so much fun. It's one of the best packs building wise, and I never thought that I would ever say this, because for months I told you guys that I'm not holding my breath for Unversity because as a builder I don't really like the Unversity theme, and I was so wrong. It's just amazing. If you are a builder, I can totally recommend it. There's lots of stuff that you can build, new themes to build for, and also the objects are super amazing. I don't know, I'm just super hyped. And also some packs have more stuff for the interior, but here with all these windows, as someone who really enjoys to work on the exterior, it's just a dream come true. Because for other packs we had lots of stuff for building, but more for the interior, which is also fun. I mean, you have to furnish a build, and I really enjoy that, but I don't know, the windows, I could talk about these windows all day. They are so beautiful, and I haven't even touched the modern ones yet. I have yet to do that. I just placed them once to check them out and to admire them after I got the pack. But I didn't build anything modern with this, and I'm really excited for Foxbury Institute, which is again amazing because for each pack you only have one theme usually. Like for Get Famous, for example, the whole theme was some type of LA mansion, and that's it. Of course you can do anything with it, but all the objects that we got in the main theme was LA mansion. And now in this pack you have all these objects, and you have Britechester, these very classic historical builds, and then you have Foxbury and new windows for that, and there's a modern theme. I'm just so in love, and yeah, I just can't help it. I just have to tell you how much I love this pack at the moment. And this is it, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. As I said, you can find this build in the gallery. I hope that you have a fantastic day. As I said, I have a lot of stuff on my list, but if you have any requests for Unversity or anything in general, let me know what I should build. Leave a comment down below, and I hope I see you in the next video. Bye bye.